It's Friday, closer to Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Well, New Zealand unfortunately had quakes before Christmas time, and they have an article up. And it's talking about a series of quakes that they suffered, and they didn't issue a tsunami alert. It was spared major damage. And they do have a report one person was injured at a mall, taken to a hospital. 4 people had to be rescued after they were trapped by a rock fall. The first was a 5.8 Friday afternoon, 2.5 miles deep. A few minutes later, a 5.3. An hour after that, a 5.8. New Zealand's agency recorded it as a 6. Both were less than 3 miles deep. About 60 people were treated for minor injuries, including fractures. No significant injuries. The airport was evacuated. You're going to check the buildings and everything for damage. Radio New Zealand News reported that Warwick Isaacs said buildings were evacuated as a precaution. Started slow, then got going like a big swing. Not as jolting or as violent as in February, one of the residents said. Incredibly violent, one caller said. So we have a difference of opinion there, depending upon where they were at and what their situation was, apparently. Shaking was severe in the nearby port town of Littleton, the epicenter of the February 22nd quake. The area has recorded more than 7,000 earthquakes since a magnitude 7 on September 4, 2010. The USGS told NBC News that the quakes on Friday could be classified as aftershocks of the February killer. Well, okay. And we'll go over to USGS here. That's where we're at. We'll take a look at what's up. California 3.2. California 2.7, Colorado 2.8. Hey, Russia 4.7. Philippines 5.3. Chile 4.8. Off the east coast of the South Island of New Zealand, that's at 4.8. Alaska 3.333. New Zealand 5.9. New Zealand 4. New Zealand 4.2. New Zealand 5.3. New Zealand 5.8. Tonga 4.9, Western Jiang 4.8, California 2.7, Taiwan 4.9, Indonesia 5, Japan region 4.6, Alaska 2.5, Puerto Rico 3.4, Puerto Rico 2.826, Chile 4.9, Chile 5.0, East Coast Honshu Japan 4.6, Indonesia 5.0. 2.8 Alaska, 2.5 Alaska, 3.3 Puerto Rico, 3.2 Alaska, 4.7 Guatemala, 2.6 California, 2.5 Alaska. So the magnitude itself is, nothing in the 6s, but high 5s for New Zealand. Praying for everybody there. I hope it stops. It sure is a long time for aftershocks like that, isn't it? Well, NASA snapped close-up photos of what we looked at a while back, Vesta. And it says, revealing a space rock in a wealth of new detail. They are really wanting to get knowledge off of this thing. Dawn entered its lowest orbit cozy orbit allowed the spacecraft to observe new details that they think could have been a planet had it developed differently. And the picture says it's one of the first obtained, part of the rim of a fresh crater. The terrain shown here is located in an area known as the heavily cratered terrain in the northern hemisphere. Okay. What else did they say? Small groove lines and dimples are revealed, potentially giving them clues about its history as well as the history of the solar system as a whole. It is covered in craters from impacts of small asteroids in the crowded debris field where it orbits. They always show things that look gray, don't they? I'll get back to the gray in a minute. This close-up photo, which we just glimpsed at, part of one of the troughs of the equator. The floor of one of the equatorial troughs appears as the brighter deposit at the bottom of the image, contrasted against the darker band of the trough edge. Dawn beamed these images to Earth on the 13th of December. NASA then released what they wanted us to see Wednesday, December 21st. Dawn entered its closest orbit on the 12th. Went down spiraling to an altitude of 130 miles above the surface. They're going to keep that probe there for about 10 weeks, and then they're going to send it back up to a higher altitude to observe with a wider field of view again. So there is the gray. And did anybody hear Francis Walsh's last radio show? Whenever or maybe it wasn't his last one, but it's the one where he had Jose Escamilla on there. And they were talking about the moon and other things. Remember what he said about the color of pictures that you see of the moon and the planet, and how the atmosphere actually makes it look different than what they show. And then he told you about the moon's color. It has color. You know, different things about things aren't always gray in a picture. In 2010, he's shown you in his moon videos that it's not all gray and dead up there. It's colorful, and there's things there. Speaking of the moon, so I just thought it was interesting to note that these pictures that keep coming back of these things always look gray, and we haven't really said anything about how things look outside of their atmosphere. You know, do they appear the same way as at lower altitude, closer to it, beyond the atmosphere into it? But they want to know about this rock, and apparently they're getting a ton of data, because if you got that thing 130 miles off of it, I mean, that's really close. So they're getting the whole thing. There's not going to be nothing left that they don't have mapped. So for some reason they want this thing bad. Now I'm going to go over here to my Neumayer, and I saw something before I went to work, but I didn't have time to go in and record it and bring it to you. So hopefully it'll be the same as whenever I watched it before I went. We'll see here in a minute. It looks like it might be. It's the same date. Should be. Alright, I believe we're about there. And we're going black dot hunting. And you know what we got? We got what we come hunting for. And there we go. I'm going to blow this up just a hair. And there's your colorful glare over there to the left. You're getting some more violet, purpley look. And it's getting bigger too whenever you go more to the left. And I'm going to minimize this down to 100 again. It's cutting out what I want to show you. Let's see, it went from that, where all this stuff up here, there's like no clouds really. A little band there and something there. And then in 10 minutes, it went to that. Okay, so you can barely see the purpley stuff here, and then 10 minutes later, whoop, I missed it. I went past it. I gotta get it back. There it is. You went to that. Well, I might have missed that. Either that or they've chopped this out, because there was something I wanted you to see, and I'm going to go through this again. If they did, I haven't seen them do this to one. But it was a big flash. And it was right as the object was passing off screen. It was going out of view, and when it did, there was this big massive burst of light, and then the dot got huge. And that's the way it was before I went to work. It came in just like this, exactly like this. And then when it was going out of the field of view, it went behind these clouds like that. But then when you clicked it again, well, that's different. Something's different with this tape now, because you didn't get the flash, and it switched so fast back from cloudy to clear. Well, something is different, and I wasn't able to get that taped before I went to work, so that is not good. Well, we'll watch it one more time, and I'm gonna, because it looked exactly the same almost. Okay, now I remember what the timing was. And that's what I'm watching now. Is the timing of where that dot's at. Okay, that's different. That's different than what I saw before I went to work. Because right here is different. $12.22. Okay. Well, that's the same date before I went to work. I don't know what they've done. They've done something, because when you stepped it, you could go all the way to 5 o'clock or something, and you just got this huge flash. I see you're already at 6 o'clock, and you already went back to a different look. So what happened was, when it went off screen, this whole area here just went kaboom, and there was a big, huge white flash, and the dot that was about that big, I mean, it got really big, really big. Now, I hadn't seen one like that before, so I'm sorry I couldn't bring that to you. We can go back here though, and I haven't looked at this one yet. We can go ahead and check these other live movies out while we're together. I apologize for not being able to bring you that. I don't know why that's changed. I'd never seen that before. You see, this is dated the 22nd up here. That's the same date. I'll let it play through at high speed and see what it looks like. From this angle here, there's you can see the clouds pretty good. Quite a bit of cloud cover here from this angle. Okay, we get quite a bit of brightness there. That may be about the time that the flash was. Now the time's different on this cam. We'll just see if this shows anything in the sun. Yeah, there's a dot. Now that looks like that could be maybe sort of like what I saw, except it's a whole bunch bigger. On the other one, when it was moving off screen like that, this whole bunch of white just went kaboom, and then it covered a big white area about like that, and that dot looked 3 times bigger than what it is. Okay. This is probably, you see that did that too, just like the other cam. You went from this to that in 10 minutes, to that in 20 minutes, to that in 10 minutes. Well, let's see if the third one shows anything different. Well, so far we've seen our dot, but you didn't see the one I wished you'd have seen. We'll let this play through and see what this is going to show. So far, not much. Not much going on this angle. Well, that was a dark cloud. Well, you can see some big, bad, dark clouds from this angle. I'll give them that. Wait. Kind of missed something there. I'm gonna have to go back. I think I missed something I wanted to look at. I thought I saw something up in the cloud. Did you guys see something up in the cloud? Kind of like right over in here. 10 minutes later, we're snowed and grayed out. Then we go back to sunshine. No, I think that was just a cloud I saw. I thought I saw something right there, but I guess not. Then we go back to cloud and gray. And it looks like that's probably going to be it. We went to that in 10 minutes. Oh, I think that's it. Well, again, I apologize for not being able to bring that to you. There's probably somebody out there that did get it. I don't know. You might try Ursu Adams. He likes to watch Neumayer 2 closely like I do. So he might have captured that one. Getting back to Jose Escamilla and Francis. They're going to collaborate. Maybe some of you heard the show, maybe some of you didn't. They're going to collaborate together. Escamilla is going to make another movie, another work, and Francis is going to point at the moon with his telescope, and they're going to look at some stuff, and it was a real interesting show. And there's definitely some stuff up there. You know, 2010 showed it. He shows it. It's there. So, when you think of the man in the moon, look like there's more than a man in the moon. Well, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to look around and see what else is going on. Looks like there's plenty of stuff. Hope everybody has a fine weekend. Hope everybody has a great holiday. Remember what the true meaning of Christmas really is. You know, because it's not about buying gifts and getting gifts. And who knows? We'll see next year, but this could be the last Christmas that we know like we know. We hope not. You know, if it's going to get worse than now, we hope not. So enjoy it. It's cold here. At least we don't have snow yet. It tried to, but it went away. So it's still dry. I think we're going to get a dry Christmas. It is a really clear night. When I got out of my truck and looked up when I got home. I was looking over my home, and over it would be directly to the south, and perfect view of Orion. I mean, it was just so big and so low. It was almost like I could just reach out and grab it and pull it down. So we know about Orion and Orion Nebula and Egyptians and all that great stuff. Anyway, I just want to let you know it was so clear I could see everything really good tonight. So I might go out and get some pictures. It's awful cold. If I do, I won't be out long, because I'm just getting over some kind of head congestion. I'm about 85%. Hopefully tomorrow about 95. But God bless everyone. I'll talk to y'all real soon. Good night.